Alright, YouTubers, I'm gonna go through a very quick overview of how I made my hidden blade for Connor from Assassin's Creed 3. First I'll show you how it works, basically. Got the straps connected to this. That actually does go to the front of this. But basically, there are magnets. You can kind of see it right through here. But basically, it does slide and come up like that and collapse on itself. I wish I had better references when I first made it, because I would have made this hook part right here actually collapse into it and whatever. But I really didn't have a whole lot of references, so I did the best I could. But either way, it slides out, this slides out, and it does spin. So basically I'm going to go over how I made it quickly. So I started off, for this piece, took me a couple tries, but I finally got it to what I liked. But I did it, I put it on this, carved it out of Super Sculpey, then I drilled a couple holes and screwed these little eye hooks in there. Then, from that, I cast it in silicone. Then I poured resin, right here, Smooth Cast 325, into it, and got that. Of course, I powdered it with silver, so it would come out silver. For the base piece, I sculpted it again out of Super Sculpey, kind of roughly made it, because I didn't really have a whole lot of reference. I just kind of made it to where it looked similar. But again, sculpted out of Super Sculpey and cast that in silicone Umu 25. That's where I got it. This is what I used, I mean. Put silver in it. I placed the magnets actually in the mold, so when it cured, the magnets would be in there, so I wouldn't have to drill holes and stuff. I did it for my prototype just to see if it would actually work and everything, but once I got it to work, I actually put the magnets in the mold. So that's for that. For the next piece, I sculpted it again, then cast it again in silicone. Then I poured more resin into it. I had to kind of play with it a little bit, grind it down a little bit, but it's fine. It works out. Again, with magnets in them. You can kind of see there's one in there, and there's actually one in the end. So that's pretty basic. For the next piece, the handle piece, I sculpted one side, tried to make it as even as possible, and then I did both sides, so I could actually cast one and then make two molds and then just double them up, obviously. Again, with two magnets on one, two small magnets on one side to keep this blade part out. There's a little magnet right there, a little magnet at the end to keep it out or in, depending on what it is, obviously. The other side, I put bigger magnets to hold on to the other magnets that in the middle piece. Then I super glued them together. I took a rivet and put it in between this blade so it would hold it in, but before I super glue it, so it'll slide and everything. Then I sculpted the eagle's head out of Super Sculpey yet again. Made the blade and everything, sculpted it, molded it, two halves, put it together, poured it, same stuff. And it came out pretty well. The actual point, the blade point, was actually the hardest point because it's so thin. I sculpted it yet again. I cast it, and it's a huge pain in the ass because it kept coming out, so it took me a while to get get them perfect, but then I basically just grinded through the center, made everything slide together. So it does actually stay up. This next point, like I said at the beginning, I took more eye hooks, cut them, and bolted them, and I drilled into the points of these, screwed them in. But for these little parts, I actually sculpted a little rectangle, then I drilled in an eye hook, then cast it so I could make 4 identical ones. But for the back, I actually used the little strips that I got from Michaels. I don't know where else you'd get them, so don't ask. I found them at Michaels. I cut them down to where they would fit the actual buckles that I have here, so they fit on them. I painted them brown because they didn't have any dye for leather for some reason. They had a whole leather section but no dye. Anyway, I grinded out the backs of them and then super glued those as well. Onto the actual bracer piece. This is my actual second attempt. I like it way better. It actually worked pretty well. I did it. It's pretty basic. It's a couple layers, a couple snaps. So made the knots, everything. It's pretty basic, but it actually does hook on and hold up pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with it. And that's it. All right, thanks.